Hello there and welcome back to another video. I'm very excited. This is my first video since school ended, so hopefully it's a good one. Before I tell you my story about starting my first year of middle school in a pandemic, I just want to say that only 23% of people who watch my video are subscribers. So if you want to become a subscriber, then just tap that big red subscribe button down below. It would help a lot. Thank you and enjoy the video. Since I was really little, I've always wanted to go to middle school. I think it was mostly because of the lockers and all the classes and periods I had to go to. I don't know why, I was very into organization back then, so I think that had something to do with it. But I never really knew that my first year of middle school was going to start like this, in a pandemic. I'm just gonna start this story in 5th grade. So, I loved 5th grade. I think it's still one of my favorite years of school. But I remember very clearly the last day of school, I was sitting at my desk and the teacher told us to pack up all of our schoolwork in a backpack because we might not be able to come back to school for a couple of weeks because of coronavirus. Or Miss Rona. But a few minutes after, the principal came into our room and told us not to pack up our stuff because we would be staying. I was very confused and packed up my stuff anyways, thinking that I was very secretive because I had a feeling that we weren't coming back to school. I don't know why. So I played it safe, packed up my stuff, and it was time to go home like an hour later. That day when I got home, I ended up talking to a neighbor that actually taught at the school that I went to, and she said that we wouldn't be going to school in 2 weeks. I was actually okay with that. Something that was a little weird to me though is that there was no education at all in those 2 weeks. We didn't have Zoom classes at that time, so the only really teaching I got was from my dad. He would have us watch some documentaries and then write a little bit about it. Soon I learned that I wasn't coming back in 4 weeks, and that's when I started going on Zoom classes with my teacher. We would have a meeting in the morning every day, and then she would give us some assignments, and we would go on to little third-party programs to do some math and language arts. A little after, I learned that I wasn't going to come back to school until 6th grade, and I got really sad because the last day of school that I remember was going to be the last day of school in my elementary years. I also realized how much people really meant to me. Being able to be in a classroom full of people and talk to everyone was definitely not something that I could do during remote learning, and I grew to absolutely despise it. Over this whole quarantine thing and the whole summer going to 6th grade, I basically just hung out with my best friend and my sister every day. My best friend actually has a YouTube channel, so I will link her in the description and in the iCard. She really helped me a lot through quarantine. Towards the end of the summer, I was getting really excited for 6th grade. I have been looking up to middle school for many, many years, but then I found out that I wasn't going to go back to school in the beginning of the year, and I didn't know when we were going to. Honestly, it hit me less than when I learned that I wasn't going back to elementary school. I think I was kind of expecting it in some place in my brain. This time, remote learning was very different. Instead of having one little hour Zoom meeting in the beginning of every day, we ended up having Zoom meetings all throughout the day. Since I had multiple periods, I also had multiple classrooms in my Google Classroom, and it was getting really messy and really hard to organize. I honestly just couldn't wait until I could go back to school. And there was a point in time where I thought I was never going to go back to school, which sounds a little ridiculous now that I think about it. In the beginning of 2021, I moved to another state, and there I started middle school for the first time, the 2nd semester. I literally waited almost an entire year to be able to go to school, and I feel like that was everybody's dream in elementary school, was to never go to school again. but it was really hard not being able to go to school for a year. But to wrap up the story, I went to school. There were a lot of COVID restrictions. It was not like normal school, but at least I got to sit in a room full of people. I was very happy and very thankful for what I got to do. I definitely did get headaches like here and there from wearing masks all day, but now it's all over. I'm going to school in September, and I'm going to start fresh. COVID restrictions, a lot of them will be lifted, and the whole school is going before it was only half of the school. Anyway, thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. There are plenty of people who experience stuff like this just like me, so I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you guys are all happy and you are where you want to be. I really hope this whole COVID thing is going to end soon. I know it's close to it, but it really hasn't yet. Also, subscribe if you want this dog. Bye!